Welcome back to Devils Ducks Hockey this week in front of a live audience this week. This I think is number 12, and I want to thank everybody that's been watching on YouTube. I think we're approaching 1,500 viewers so far, so definitely people out there are checking it out. It's on DevilsDucksHockey.com and JuniorHockey.com radio. As usual, we're joined tonight by head coach Bill Zanfoni, assistant coach Jake Stima, and we have returning goaltender Robbie Meadows with us tonight from the Detroit area. Welcome, Robbie.
Thank you.
Your second year with the team. I really wanted to talk to you early this season because with the injuries and stuff at the end of last season, I figured it was a particularly long summer for you, and you were probably really itchy to get back.
Yeah, I was out for a couple months when I got back home, and I'm excited to be back on the ice.
Right. And it was a great playoff run for the team, and it was at the end, I guess it was kind of a heartbreaking finish. Was it difficult to watch? I mean, you were a great fan and you were supported the team all the way, but was it difficult to sit in the stands and not be part of that?
Very. It's not fun to not be able to control anything.
Right. And you obviously spent the entire summer getting ready, getting back on your feet, and working out. And I know Coach Zanfoni, you said a lot of good things about Robbie. You were impressed from the first time you saw him this summer.
Yeah, well, the first time we seen him this summer was out in Boston at the USPHL showcase. I was, a little bit nervous, I guess, to see him, especially at that high pace, and see how he did coming back into it. But he didn't miss a beat, that's for sure. So, we're always excited to get guys back that we've had. It's been, part of our family and guys that know what we want, and that core group. So to get a guy like Robbie back, especially between the pipes, he was a big contributor last year when he was there.
Right.
Only 4 losses in the league, and him and Selly had a great relationship, and we're seeing that right now with Robbie and Mike Ambrose, and things are going well. They're helping our younger goalie flip her out, and it seems to be a good relationship.
That was something that a lot of people talked about last year, Robbie, was you had definitely a real special relationship. I always find that really interesting because the goaltending position, more so than probably any other, is very competitive. You're either playing or you're not. So it seems like it'd be very competitive, but you and Sally were very friendly with each other, and you became good friends, and it sounds like the same thing's happening again this year.
Yeah, well, I'd rather be worried about stopping pucks rather than not liking somebody else.
That's a good point. Was that something that you always experienced as well, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's out of your control. The only thing you can control is yourself. So it's your work ethic and your character that's going to either put you in or not. And sometimes things are just going, the other guy's way, and you have to be a teammate. And you gotta pat the guy on the back, and you gotta help him out if he needs help. And that's how it works, right? That's a family. So everyone should want every other guy in that locker room to succeed.
I want to go back to the Janesville thing, but before I go there, I just had one more question about goaltending. I was thinking about it on the way over here. I know that you're a coach that usually hands out assignments fairly early. I think you like goaltenders to wake up in the morning knowing if they're going to start or not.
Yeah.
And from being a goaltender, I guess that's probably the way you've done it. Is that something that you think is a good way to go, to let the goalie know way ahead that he's playing that day?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think a guy needs to prepare if he needs to, work on things, or he needs to come in and do some extra video before a game. I think they need to get ready, more so than a player. It's a funny thing, but as a goalie, you're either going to be the hero or the black sheep, So it's, mentally, I think they need to be a little bit more focused and sharp, because one bad bounce can change a game for them. And, so we always try to be up front with our guys and let them know what's going on.
Now, I didn't know this till recently, but from paying attention to Twitter and stuff like that, you find out that in the pro leagues and the top leagues, the starting goaltender, it's not easy. It's not hard to pick them out on a game day because they're the ones that are not doing as much work as the backup. The backup gets a bulk of the work in practice and in the pregame. Is it the same at this level, Robbie? Do you sort of lay off a bit on game day?
Yeah, I like to feel the puck before as much as I can.
Oh, do you?
But
Okay.
I do not like warm-ups
Oh, okay. On a game day.
on a game day.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's go back to Janesville. That was your final tune-up game. A tough contest. You handled yourself well, Coach. I thought you played Janesville, and it was a very close game. Came right down really to the final couple minutes, and I think the team stepped up in a big way in terms of heart and character that night too.
Yeah, no, and I think, you know, if you go back to the last show before we played Janesville and talked, you know, we said we were going to go try to win that game.
Yeah, yeah.
That's who we are. We're going to try to win every game that we can. So, yeah, I mean, I thought our guys came out. I thought we answered a couple of questions that maybe we had as a staff, and you know, who would get maybe cold feet back down and stuff. But I think, you know, every guy that we had in the lineup, I thought went well. So, you know, it's good for our guys to see that stuff. Now, we'll see if we're consistent on doing it or not.
Now, Robbie, it seemed like they had some really intricate plays compared to maybe what you might see in a normal Tier 3 game. I think there was a lot of third-man high sort of activity and stuff like that. Did it take a little while to get used to what they were doing with the puck? Or?
No. I just try to go out and stop the puck. I don't really pay attention to too much everything else.
Okay. So it's just like any other game, really? Okay. Now, the good news, I guess, after the game was Coach Dibble talked to you, Coach, about keeping our captain in Janesville, Jake Stima, captain, leading scorer last year, really a heart and soul player for this team. It's tough to see him go, but it's great for him to get the call in Janesville.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, it's always tough to see guys go, but when you weigh it out, it's always good to see the kid gets rewarded, and that's what he's done. And you know, I thought he played pretty well for us down there Friday night, and then he played for Janesville on Saturday night and played pretty well. And you know, I know he scored and had a couple of assists, and I think he was +4. And he'll do fine. I mean, you know, Jake's a kid that just plays because he loves to be on the ice, and that's something you can't take away. It's something that I don't think you can really fluster about. You know, he kind of leaves everything out there every game, and we saw it all year last year. You know, he was an Ironman for us last year. He played in every single game, and he logged a lot of minutes. So we're extremely happy for him. You know, we're happy for the program, and hopefully we have more guys in line just waiting to get picked up.
Okay. Now he went immediately into action. He played in another exhibition game the following night. And Jake, I know I was watching that game with you, and you had the impression that it wasn't a perfect game for Jake. He made some mistakes, but he seemed like he got better as the game went on, and he just appeared to get more and more comfortable, really, didn't he?
Yeah, no, that was absolutely it. The start of the game, I think it's you know, chemistry between partners is really important for defensemen, and jumping on the ice with guys he's never played with before, never really talked with before, it's kind of difficult at the start, and combine that with some jitters, I think, in the first period. And I thought he had an okay first period, but I definitely calmed down between the first intermission and the second period, and I thought he just got better and better as the night went on. And by the third period, I thought he was really getting back to his game. I think it was, you know, I thought he fit in pretty well down there with what they're trying to accomplish.
Now, this is being taped less than 24 hours before your first league game. 2 points on the line finally. Excuse me. You just went through your final practice. Just like to ask both the coaches, like, what's your feeling right now? Are you guys ready to go in Minnesota Junior Hockey League play right now?
Yeah, I think guys are chomping at the bit for something that matters. You know, I mean, you know, it's tough because, you know, we played 4 exhibition games, and it matters for individuals in those games. You know, like where they fit in on a depth chart, stuff like that. But this is, you know, for the emblem on your chest per se, and that's. Now we get to really see the character of guys, you know, and what's going to happen. And, you know, our lineups are going to be to get 2 points all weekend and come at the end of the weekend we have 8 and get ready to go again. I mean, you know, I think, you know, we've had a little bit of nerves maybe leading into the game on Thursday. I think for the most part though, the attitudes and stuff have been really positive. And that's something you look for as well. I think, you know, our goaltendings look sharp. you know, we're still working on systems and stuff, and yet, like, yesterday was a real boring day on the ice for our guys. But it's stuff that we gotta get through now, so there's no mistakes come game one.
Jake?
Pretty much echo the same things that Bill just said. I think guys are ready to go. I think the veterans have done a nice job of kind of showing what's expected in games from attitudes and everything so far. And I thought as a group, you know, granted it's just exhibition games, but any adversity we faced, I thought as a group we responded pretty well to it. So, you know, everything we've been working on so far has been leading up to this point. So we'll see how things play out tomorrow.
All right, the thing I've been looking forward to doing with this show is looking forward to game opponents, so we can finally do that a little bit here. Now I do know the St. Louis Frontenac is your first round opponent tomorrow. You do go in with an 8-0 record against the Great Lakes division. We talked last week about how important it is to keep that sort of streak intact. Frontenac's a lopsided game last year, but you seem pretty convinced that they could be a very different team this year, Coach.
Yeah, I think they will. I think, you know, from what we saw, I think there was only 5 returners. They have a lot of young players right now, I think, that are going to bring a lot of speed and energy. And that's good. I mean, you know, we want to go into a game where there is some unknowns. You know, we went into Janesville, there was a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
And, you know, we would go against the ropes and we'd come back and throw some punches against them. And, you know, we really turned it into a heavyweight fight that went the distance with them. And that's good. I mean, we're going to try to come out and set the tone right away. Tomorrow we're gonna chip pucks deep, and we're gonna bang every person that wants to touch a puck and create our identity from game one on. And you know, I think they're gonna come right back down.
So Jake, it sounds like I know you guys do watch a lot of film, and you have probably already watched last year's games or several of St. Louis games from last year. I get the feeling from what Coach is saying right now that you don't really care about their style of play. You're going to play your own game as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've done our homework on them just to kind of get a basic idea of what type of play they bring. But when it comes down to it, you really have to just be worried about yourselves, and you have to execute what you want to do. Ideally, you're going to go into a game and establish your identity like Coach Bill was talking about. We're going to be a physical team. We're going to forecheck hard. We're not going to be the team that has to adjust to teams. Other teams are going to have to adjust to us.
And that sets up a huge game on Friday, or what everybody's expecting to be a pretty huge game, the new Marquette Royals, the newest team in the league. And you're very familiar with their coach, and from what I've heard, Coach Santaponi, you're expecting a very physical game. And that's right in your wheelhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a chippy game. I think Coach Stanley is going to bring a team that's going to want to run and gun for sure with his top 2 lines, and he definitely has the personnel in the lineup to do it. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good test for us. I would expect them to be a very good team in that GL division this year. And that's, we want to play, the best team every night if we can. Last year we talked to the guys who said if we had a lineup or a schedule full of Rochester and Lights, we should be happy. It's just going to make us better and ready to go at the end of the year. So I'm happy that we drew them. I think it's a lot of fun to play people that and have some fun with it. So yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good game, and it's going to be a good test physically for us.
Now they do, I believe, play the Northern Lights in their first game. So this is a chance for this team, a brand new team, to make a statement right out of the gate.
Absolutely. I mean, they play the Lights and then us, so it's going to be a big weekend for them to make a name for themselves, and we have to understand that coming in.
Robbie, it sounds like it will be a physical game, and I'm sure there will be a lot of jostling in the blue paint. And that's something you're very used to. That doesn't get you off your game at all. Is that something you like?
Yes.
Oh, really? I'd like to see it in front of you, as long as it's away from you. Okay, then finally, the final 2 games, teams that we're very familiar with here. Wisconsin Rampage was here a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, I guess it was now. That ended up being a fairly physical contest. You handled them okay, but things are probably going to be different this weekend, I suspect.
Yeah, I think everything's different when points are on the line for sure. Yeah, it did. It got chippy, and it was exciting. I think to have it here at our rink. But you know, they've already played a league game where they didn't get any points. So I mean, those guys are going to be hungry. You know, they're going to be hungry to come back and make a statement here against us, and we have to expect it. I mean, you know, to go to the Busch Cup Finals last year, we should, as a team and organization, understand that every team should want to beat us.
Yeah.
And bring their best. So, you know, we've really tried to beat it into our guys' heads that, you know, our mentality doesn't change. We're going to keep foot on the gas and see who's going to come after us.
They had some success on the power play against you, Jake. I mean, you were just kind of getting things started at that point. The PK looking a lot better now.
I think so. It's just a lot of chemistry stuff. And first, I think we had just started implementing forechecks and stuff like that.
Right.
So still figuring out what guys work well together. So I think we'll be okay.
Okay. You did play, I believe, half the game against Rampage, Robbie. Anything that you could take away from that game that you expect? Or?
I don't remember it.
Oh, really?
No.
You put them away pretty quick, don't you? Okay, that sets up the final game, which will be back here at the Poppy Waterman Ice Arena Sunday at 5 p.m. One of two games from the Showcase Tournament that's going to go away from Rochester. I believe the Steele County team's also going to host a game Sunday. Now the Saints are not a team to be taken lightly, as you found out 2 weeks ago. They battled you hard in that game. I think you outshot them fairly one-sided, but they hung in there. And when a game is close like that, anything can happen. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything can happen. You know, I think the thing that me and Jake noticed, you know, the most is the personnel that they're still bringing in. To Stephen's point over there, they're going to be a whole different team when we play them.
Right.
And I think they're going to win some games this weekend at that showcase. You know, I don't expect them to come into our rink and beat us, but I think they're going to be a different team. They're going to be very physical. That goalie, I think his last name was Smith there from Dallas that came in, played really well against us. So, you know, it's like I said before, I mean, we're going to keep the foot on the gas and see what they can do.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to just give you 2 points.
No, absolutely not. And I don't expect that on anyone in our league. You know, we want our league to be the best league, so whoever represents us in the national tournament is ready to rock.
Okay. There'll be a bit of a crazy weekend. Obviously, you're leaving first thing tomorrow morning. You come back Sunday, and at least a handful of your players will be involved in the Ojibwa Parade. That's probably one of the busier days in Wisconsin Dells. Hoping to convert it into some fan support that afternoon.
Yep.
And that's something that I know you and Jake have talked about before. It's a great day for the team to get out there, be in the public, and just kind of get a little bit more exposure.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jake's been in the community now for 3 years, and this is going on my second year.
Yep.
I mean, I know I have not been a part of Wajawa. My wife has, and has talked very, good things about it. Have you been a part of it?
No, every year I've been here. We've always
yeah.
been on the road, unfortunately, but
So
it's supposed to be an exciting event.
yeah, and for us, for their committee to allow us to be a part of it, I think is something great. It's a step in the right direction. It's still a new team. You got to realize that going into year 3. I mean, so to get out there, start getting our name out, start actually being able to meet people and shake their hand, look them eye to eye, and I mean that's junior hockey. You have to be a community-based team.
Well, I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday than to go to a parade and follow it up with a hockey game.
Absolutely.
That's a great way to spend your day. Obviously, the work with the Wajawa Parade and many more events that will be coming up this year, courtesy of the Dells Ducks Booster Club, which is headed by Sherry Volke. If you need any more information on the Dells Ducks Booster Club, you can check out, I believe, the website, dellsduckshockey.com, or you can contact any of us, just our first name at dellsduckshockey.com, and we can send you in the right direction. I just want to first of all thank you guys for coming out this week, and good luck this weekend. It's exciting. You know, we've been doing this show now for probably about 3 months, and it seemed like so far away, but now the season is finally here. And you know, I wish all of you the best of luck. Robbie, good luck this weekend. Coach Jake, all three of you, good luck this weekend, and let's hope you can keep the streak against the Great Lakes to make it alive.
Yeah, no, thanks, and give a shout out there to CT Hansen, and you know, I always see his posts and stuff
Right,
like that on our
yeah.
Facebook, so we appreciate it and hope John's doing well at Hamlin.
Yeah, thanks, Colin. See you all next week.